Are we there? Are we on? Can people in the chat hear me? Let me know. Hang on. Can people hear me? Oh, loud and clear? Oh, there we go. All right. YouTube was wigging out on me for a moment there. I'm a bit worried. Something that had technical issues or that live streaming was not available at the moment, but we're on, so that's good. Just give me a moment as I kind of navigate around the screen here. Haven't done one of these in a long time. All right, I think we're all good. How is everyone doing on this Sunday night? Awesome. Oh, mate, Kiwi Brew. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've been amazed at how quickly the channel's managed to grow over the last few months. Going 0 to 10,000 subs feels like I'm on the right track, and I'm obviously doing the right thing and mixing my passion with videos that people are interested in. So I'm stoked. I'm definitely going to keep making videos and going hard at it, and I really enjoy doing it. So he says, I like the decor in your study office. Yeah, this is where I do all my editing. You can see my shelf there. It's kind of partitioned into different areas. That's all my fishing gear there. I've got my medical stuff there, all the books and maps and that there and down there, and then all the little bushcraft knickknacks up the top there, pipes and stuff like that. And then very, very top, all the way up there, I've got a bunch of stuff as well. So, Mike is patchy. Is that better? Just checking to see the mic is a bit better. Maybe I need to come closer. Yeah, it's all good. That's good to hear. All right. Forgive me, like I'm pretty new to this live streaming stuff, so it's not really my area. So it's taken me a while to learn what I need to do, but I think we're getting there. Craig's there from England, a very wet and windy England. Yeah, wow. What are you in? You're going into your winter, aren't you? Can you guys still hear me okay? Oh, awesome. Oh, good. Perfect. That's good to hear. So anyway, while I'm here, I'll just give a bit of a so you know where I'm at. I should be having a video out next week, Monday. Last week, I went away for 5 days. Usually in September, I try and get away for a bigger trip. My wife allows me to go away when she stays home with the kids, which I'm very thankful for. And this time I went up to Mallee, kind of scrub outback area, which is in the northwest of Victoria. And I did a big 5-day off-track walk and that was really cool. It was really testing. Kind of first time where I've done everything off track and have to navigate with my map and compass. So um, real flat landscape out there. So it was pretty hard to navigate. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of kind of things in the landscape you could pinpoint to. But the good thing about the particular walk I chose, it was a 45-kilometre walk, was basically had to walk east and I would hit the Murray River, walk along the Murray River north a bit, and then just walk west, and eventually I would hit the main road. And the good thing is there was a few like um, creek beds and also big lakes that I knew were kind of in the landscape. So I knew I could navigate towards that. But yeah, basically did it with just compass and a map. And yeah, that was a big walk. Did it as a swag man. And then I also spent, after I finished up that walk, I went to Murray Sunset National Park, test out the new four-wheel drive on the sandy tracks there, and camped at a really cool outback hut called Mapoki Hut. So I did a separate little video on the hut, and that'll be out on Sunday, and some of the history of the cattle grazing in the area. So yeah, that'll be out next Sunday, and then hopefully that big 4-day walk that I did will also in the next few weeks come out. But yeah, lots of plans for the rest of the year. I want to obviously do a bit of trout fishing because trout season has started, and yeah, I'd like to do some survival challenge stuff in the high country. That'll be really cool to do that. David is asking, what's the strangest thing you have seen out on a trip? Oh, the strangest thing, I don't know. Strangest thing I've seen, I'm not really sure, but the only time I've ever felt spooked was up in the Vico high country. I've been out in the bush quite a bit and always felt very comfortable, never felt scared or threatened or anything like that. Feel very at home in the bush. But the only time I've ever felt a little bit spooked was around a campfire late at night up on the Australian Alps in the high country, deep in the bush there. So yeah, maybe something like that. I've had wild dogs come around me in the night when I was camping with my little 2-year-old boy, so that was a little bit spooky as well. Good morning from the US. Oh, good morning. Good to see some international people here. We've got someone from England, someone from the US. Sunset is the best. Yeah, Sunset is an amazing national park. It's Victoria's second largest national park as well. Kiwi Brew, I've never fished for trout inside Australia. We've got lots of trout. They're obviously not a native fish, so they probably do a bit of damage. But yeah, up in the high country rivers, we got lots of them. Have you ever been, Aussie Gamer, have you ever been to Queensland camping? And if so, what did you think? Yeah, when I was 22, I walked and hitchhiked from Melbourne to Cooktown along the coast, spent 7 months doing that. And a lot of that time was in Queensland. I remember doing a challenge where I lived off the land for 2 weeks up in Cedar Bay, I think it was called, just living on coconuts and crabs. Back then, I probably didn't pay much attention to camping rules and stuff like that. I just went out and camp wherever I wanted. These days, I hear, like I couldn't do that now, but these days I hear that they're pretty strict in Queensland with that kind of stuff. Have you seen a malleefowl yet? No, I haven't seen a malleefowl. I'd like to see one. Ian says, I go trout fishing in Kosciuszko National Park every June, long weekend, camping in swag, great times. June, when's it? New South Wales might be different to Vico. When's the shut-off point for trout in New South Wales? Someone says, hi, Luke, watching with my 7-year-old son. He's a massive fan. He loves watching your videos and planning how we'll use your techniques on camp. That's great. For those of you who don't know, I actually started, when I got into YouTube, I started a channel called Luke's Little Tribe, which is still up and running. And that was all focused on camping with kids. So if you've got kids and you love camping with kids, that channel's still up there. I kind of shifted from there, and my main focus is the bearded bushranger now, and I do most of my uploads here. And then I'm still going to do Luke's Little Tribe. I'm planning to take the kids camping every school holidays, and I'll upload a little video on that channel still. So if you like that camping with kids stuff, every now and then I'll still be posting on that old channel. Do you do anything for work outside of YouTube? I think I've heard you talk about the CFA. Yeah, so I farm labor basically. From an old man, I'm doing farm work, building fences, sheds, chopping down trees, planting trees, that kind of stuff. And yeah, the CFA is a volunteer thing. So, but yeah, I love that. So that kind of work gets me outdoors and out in the bush as well. Still trying to season my water bag. Yeah, it can be a long process. Once you get it right, though, it's really good, and they'll work each time once you get a bag seasoned. So yeah, just keep trying, and if it doesn't work after 10th time, get another one, I'd say. Do I do level work? No, I don't do level work, but I tell you who does. Scotty from Southernland Bushcraft. He has Southernland Bushcraft level work, and he's making me a beautiful swag strap at the moment, which I'll be used for carrying around. And he does some really nice level work. If you want to look at his stuff, I highly recommend his level work. Of all your videos, which one is your favorite? Um, you know, 2 years back on Luke's Little Tribe, I made a video where I went trout fishing with my eldest son, and that trip we did was probably one of my favourite up in the high country. Just a great time together because the fish were going wild and we were catching heaps of trout. So, yeah, probably that. How's the horse stream going? Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I've got five goals to complete in 5 years. One of them was obviously get a 4B and get more into four-wheel driving. Done that. Going to get my firearms license and start shooting deer because we've got a lot of deer where we live on the property here. Want to get into fly fishing. I'll get my chainsaw license. Obviously, I can use a chainsaw, but just so I got my chainsaw ticket, and then learn to ride a horse. That's probably going to take a while, that one. But I'd love to learn how to ride a horse and do one of these big trips up in the Vico high country on horseback, like the old fellas used to do it. Eric Chilver says, please leave a link. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll after this live stream is finished, I'll find it and I'll leave a link in the description of this live stream for Scotty's leather work. Greg says, what is the longest owned item out camping gear you have that you still regularly use? And would you replace it? Or do you think it's as good as it gets? I don't know. I'll have a look here. This old harmonica is pretty old. Is that a camping item? It is for me. I've had that for years. Yeah, I'm not really sure, actually. I've got a lot of new stuff. Probably my swag, actually. I've got an old swag that belonged to my uncle that was given to me after he passed away. I was quite close with my uncle, and he was big into camping and stuff. And I still use his swag sometimes when I go out on trips. So I'd say that swag. You have a preferred fixed blade knife for use outdoors. This one here I take with me pretty much everywhere. R&N blades. This is the Swagman's companion. So I love this knife. Cheers from Indiana, USA. Awesome. We've got someone else from the USA here. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Love to see some high country vids on horseback. Yeah. Have you ever thought of having a weekly stream? No, I'm not overly comfortable with these stream things, if I'm honest with you. Probably not. I'll probably stick to milestones. So every time I reach a certain milestone, I will do a stream and hopefully do a giveaway as well. I won't do them too often. 10,000 just felt like a bit of an achievement. So that's why I decided to do a live stream for this. Who is your favorite person to go camping with? Well, probably the two regular ones that you've probably seen me camp with. He's a guy called Tim Chillman. He's a mate of mine. He lives pretty close by, so I go quite regularly with him. And then I've done quite a few collab trips, obviously, with Matsy from the Silly Swagman, and he's always great to get out as well. Kiwi Brew, thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. It's yeah, just all the support that everyone's been given on the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Matsy, good answer, mate. No, not that Matsy guy. Don't go out with him. Do you have a favorite pipe tobacco blend? Yeah, cherry vanilla is my favorite. I'll show you that as well. I've got all this stuff handy, ready to show. So, no, it's in a tobacco packet, but cherry vanilla. And usually I pack it from here and I put them in these old school tins. And these tins were from an auction, a farm auction. And yeah, we picked them up and they were legit tobacco tin, pipe tobacco tins from an old farmer. So yeah, these are great old school ways of taking things out. But yeah, I like my aromatics. So how often do I probably, by the way, guys, I probably shouldn't be talking about this because last time Matthew did a live stream, there was people talking about that. And YouTube's really strict with this kind of stuff. So I'm going to use the word backy, okay? So hopefully that'll get around the algorithm. But how often do I partake in the backy is probably just when I go camping, not too regularly. So still want to keep my health up. Just found the Silly Swagman channel a couple of days ago, Small World. Yeah, he does some great stuff. So absolutely look into Matsy's channel. What's your guy called? Outdoors type. He's really good and he never liked chatting every week. Now he's up to his 100th week nearly. Is this live streaming, is it? I think you could grow your channel having a weekly chat. I could maybe grow it, but it's also about what I'm comfortable with and like doing. I think it's more special, these live streams, if yeah, they're kind of a bit more sporadic. So I might probably do that and just stick to special occasions doing these live streams. So would you ever get a dirt bike and go camping with it? Honestly, I've never really thought about that. Probably not. To be honest, at the moment, it's more getting into the four-wheel drive stuff now that I just picked up a four-wheel drive. So I'd probably do that first. Do you know what I would do? I would get an old bike from like the 1950s and I'd ride that and go camping with that. Or get my hands on an old school wheelbarrow to cart my stuff. And I'd love to do a big walk, like on an outback road or something like that with an old wheelbarrow. What's the coolest animal encounter you've had whilst camping? There's so many. I mean, emus in the Mallee. I always love coming across snakes. Snakes are awesome. Maybe whales. Whales. Did a trip with Matsy 2 years ago on the south coast, and we saw lots of whales as well. YouTube and the wife never liked me talking about the backy much either. Yeah, fair enough. Did you find your knife after losing it on the trail? Yes. So actually, it's at the end of that video. You see that I did find that knife. I backtracked. It was a loop. The walk I did was a big loop. So I ended up finding my knife, and I'm really stoked I did. That video I should mention, because that video took off on YouTube. That's about a year old, that video. So there was quite a few mistakes I made in that video that people picked up on, and I got roasted. Some people were good about it, but others got really angry at some of the things I did in that video. So I tried to explain to people, look, this was a year ago. Since then, there's been a lot of growth and stuff outdoors, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, so that video was filmed a year ago, and I've still got the knife, obviously. Might be a bit of a cliche to you guys in Australia, but I watched every episode of Bush Tucker Man a couple of months ago and loved every minute of it. Yeah, that's great. I always recommend Bush Tucker Man and Malcolm Douglas for the old school fellas. They're great content. Thanks. Oh, Rob Parsons is here. Congrats on the 10K. I actually watched Rob's latest video last night where he hiked out to an old hut in Tassie and it started snowing, and I was amazed at the snow because it was like big, beefy, chunky flakes of snow falling from the sky. And here in Vico, I've never experienced snow like that. You're one of the best YouTubers. Take the time to read the comments. So thank you. I appreciate that. It's a lot of work, but I try and reply to every single comment. yeah, even if it's just a thumbs up or something, because I do appreciate people taking the time to watch the videos and giving a comment. So even the trolls, I respond to the trolls as well. Sometimes that can be fun. Congrats on 10K subs. What's your favorite spot or spots to hike in Gippsland? Gippsland is incredible. Gippsland is so I'm where I live. I'm in the hills of the Dandy Ranges, as kind of on the border of where kind of starts Gippsland. From our house, we can kind of look towards Bunyip State Forest, and so that basically means all my adventures, I just drive out east to Gippsland, and I don't have to go through the city, which is awesome. And it's just wild country because that's the Vico High Country out that way. So I can't pick one, but probably the Lacola area in general. I love the Lacola area. Mallee Tours, Larry Perkins, the V8 supercar driver, is from Kawangi in Mallee. I should go visit there. Yeah, maybe. Probably won't do another Mallee trip for another year, though, as I just got back from there. Captain Lancaster Gaming and Stuff. Thoughts on reenacting? I personally do it. Can sometimes empathize with the blokes trying to correct you. They see that you are so close to being perfectly accurate. Either way, great work. Yeah. So some people who watch the channel, maybe they're not aware of my content, or the first time they can get a bit shitty. Things like, for example, I'll do a traditional swagman walk up in the high country, and people get upset saying swagmen never walked up in the Australian Alps. They walked along established roads from town to town looking for shearing work and things like that. And it's not that I don't know that. I'm well aware that. It's just I'm trying to be creative. And so some videos I try and be as historically accurate as I can. Others, it's about using as much traditional gear as I can and going into different places. And every now and then I'll do a camp where I'll bring all the modern stuff and just learn some history of the area. You should do a vid with Mr. Bo Miles. Bo Miles, actually, he was a bit of an inspiration a few years ago because I started watching his videos, and he was a big inspiration. He doesn't live that far away from me as well. So would you look into doing more cook-up videos on your channel rather than eating ration food like tins? So I thought that was going to be a dig at the way I cook my rabbit. You will be pleasantly surprised that in my next two videos that I cooked a lovely steak on the coals, cooked it well to perfection. So look, here's the thing. I actually have never cared about camp cooking. I'm the kind of guy who will eat anything. It doesn't bother me, and some burnt sausages. I have never cared about camp cooking at all. But some people get really upset in the comments if you don't cook well, and they want to see you cook well. So it's something that it's never really interested me, but I'm happy to start learning a little bit more on how to cook better. When you get your gun license, Luke, would you get into flint block powder? Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to ask Scotty from Sutherland Bushcraft about that. I'm sure he would know all about that. Kiwi Brew, thank you very much. Never try to respond to everything. You have 10K subs now. You will go mad. Yeah, I probably will. I know some people, they do it so they respond to members and stuff like that. So, but I still like engaging with people and talking in the comments. John Smith, what are some essential things for camping like the guys in the 1800s? Wool and blankets, a lot of wool, a lot of oil skin stuff, a lot of wax canvas stuff, and your billy. Will you be doing fishing, catch and cooks? Yes, this spring, trout season, I want to do some survival challenges as well, catching some trout. So yeah, I love my trout fishing, so I will be doing some fishing, catch and cooks. Someone says I live in Maine in the US. It's a very wild mountainous state. Always want to camp out my neck of the woods because it's just so different from here. Now the US has some incredible landscapes though. I would love to visit like a Alaska area. That looks wild, but yeah, a lot of the US looks amazing. I don't know what your rules are like when it comes to dispersed camping, or if you're allowed to go off track, or if it's more kind of established trails and things like that. Ivan says the trip you did with Matsy a couple of months ago was so good. I lost it when you walked into camp, saying that coffee went through me like a freight train. Well, it always does. I know the feeling. Cheers, mate. Survival challenges and catch and cook are amazing. Yeah, I really enjoy them, and I never claim to be an expert. I'm definitely not an expert at that kind of stuff, but I love giving it a good crack and seeing how it can go and filming it. Would you ever consider a camping trip over to Western Australia? I absolutely would, but time, money, resources at the moment makes that pretty hard to go over to WA because that's a long way away. I have been to WA before, checked out the Albany area. That was back when I was into bodyboarding and surfing, and checked out some of the waves around there. Someone asked, in windy conditions, what's the best way to keep all the sand and dust out of your open top swag or bedroll whilst sleeping? So there's a way that I sleep when I'm in a bedroll, which is an oilskin tarp, and it's basically wrapping yourself up as a burrito. So you don't lay in the middle of it like a square shape. You kind of lay it out like a diamond, and then you fold the bottom part in and then the sides, and you're kind of in there like a burrito, and that works really well. Out of everything you've ate during your vids, what food was your favorite? I'd say just fresh trout caught from a stream, cooked up. That would probably be my favorite food that I've eaten out bush. Someone asked, "Are you doing YouTube full time now, or do you have a day job?" No, ad revenue is not a lot on YouTube. Definitely got a part time job. I'm actually at the point though, like I'm very very thankful for this that YouTube is making enough money to be considered a part time job or a casual job for me. So I'm working 2 or 3 days a week on the farm, and then the YouTube money is actually enough at the moment to kind of to pick up. So yeah, no, it's really cool. So I'm riding it. We'll see how far I can go with this YouTube thing and see what happens. So I'm gonna, because it's 8 o'clock now, and basically what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to be on here for too long, because there's a lot of great videos that have dropped tonight on YouTube, and I know a lot of people want to watch them. So what I'm going to do is, with this giveaway that I did, I asked a lot of people to post their questions. So I actually read out their questions. I've got them here, and I want to try and answer them. This will probably be more of a rapid fire type thing, and then we'll do the giveaway after that. So probably how it'll work is I'm just going to go through these, read the questions and answer them. So I probably might not be able to engage with you guys so much in the chat. So you can talk amongst yourselves. But yeah, let's do this. So Arch Lloyd had asked, what is the one thing you always take with you on any camping trip expedition? Or a pipe and a backie, or my camera. Ged24 says, who is the strangest person that you've gone hiking with? Myself. Key Permaculture says, what would you do a proper button man discovery hike to try and find him? So from what I hear, the button man is actually he's a good fella. He's an okay guy, and he prefers to be left alone at the moment. That's what I hear. There's actually a lot of good little docos on him, and I watched one recently. I think it was from Viceland. So I'll leave him alone. Nev Bonar says, what do you prefer, coastal, mountains, or outback? And Emma asked, what's your favourite part of Victoria to explain? So I used to be coast. I grew up as a coastal boy, surfing and that kind of stuff. And as I've gotten older, I've transitioned to the mountains. Love the mountains, particularly the Alpine National Park in the Vico High Country. And then, probably do an outback trip once a year. So Sinking Pieces ask, what's your favourite bush tucker? The tastiest is something from up north, like a lily pilly. But down here in Victoria, I've eaten a lot of bower spinach, which grows along the coast. So Cars in South Australia asks, are you going to do a trip in South Australia? Yes, I have my eyes on the Gammon Ranges, actually. I was meant to do that this spring. That fell through. I ended up doing this Murray River trip instead, but maybe next year sometime I'd like to do a big walk through the Gammon Ranges. Jack and also Ellis asks, how do you choose your adventures location-wise? So basically, what I do is I scour Google Maps, Google Earth. So I've also got apps on my phone which show the borders of state forests and national parks and stuff like that. Try and find a good area. When I find an area that looks good, I see if there's trails nearby, what's the access. And then I also download the parks management plan for that area so that I can, I can research what I'm allowed to do in the park. Aussie Taffy says, is there anywhere overseas that you would love to go on an adventure to? So for those of you who don't know, I actually lived in East Africa, Uganda, for 10 years, and I did a lot of videos there, adventures there. I actually got a video that I filmed at the end of last year that I'm going to post at the end of this year, a big adventure. But I would continue, I would say East Africa. I could spend the rest of my life exploring Australia and East Africa. So Aussie and Josh says, what's the hairiest moment you have had hiking, camping? When I was 22, I did a 2-week survival challenge up in far north Queensland. I got actually caught in the tail end of a cyclone, got rained out, had to traverse a big mountain to get out, and then I almost drowned crossing a flooded creek. So that's probably the scariest moment or the hairiest moment I've ever had. Jack asks, if you could take anyone with you from history on your adventures, who would it be and why? I'd say one of the old explorers. There's so many of them, but one of my favourites has always been David Livingstone, the famous explorer of East Africa. But I'd probably flip it. I'd say that I wouldn't want to take him on one of my adventures because he'd think I'm weak and wouldn't even call my adventure an adventure, but I'd want to go on one of his adventures. So Jeremy asks, who is your greatest inspiration in making videos of Australian history, bushcraft and camping? So I cannot answer this one and say just one, the greatest. So I broke it up into 3 sections: old school Australian explorers, old school Australian filmmakers, and then the new filmmakers. And so my favourite old Australian explorers who inspire me were probably Sturt and John Edward Peer. They're really hardy men, but they conducted themselves with a bit of integrity in the bush, I find, compared to some of the other explorers. So the old school Australian filmmakers would be John Muir, Malcolm Douglas, and Les Hiddens. Those guys are classics. New school Australian filmmakers who inspire me be guys like Scotty's Gone Walkabout, Sutherland Bushcraft, Tassie guys like Rob Parson, and then, of course, Matsy from the Silly Swagland. Hamish, Phoebe, Tristan, and Gisler ask, how long have you been doing bushcraft? What inspired you to do traditional outdoor activities and share it all online? What draws you to the old methods? So camping as a kid, moved on to surfing and filming surfing adventures, and then got into hiking in my 20s. Did a big hike up Australia when I was 22, and I started reading a lot of Australian history and bush history during that time. And then it was a few years ago, my old man bought a farm, and I think that connection, my family connection, because my old man grew up on a farm. My grandfather was a farmer. He also used to drove sheep as well. He was a drover, my grandfather, for a little bit. So that got me really interested in the old ways of things, and then that kind of naturally progressed to, learning about the old ways of being out bush and wanting to copy that and go outdoors and make videos on it. Ted says, do you like to camp the Bushman style, or do you enjoy the new style of luxury camping? My soul and my spirit likes the old school style, but my back and my neck likes the luxury stuff, I would say. Hunt Hard and Tiger Rowe says, what's your favourite Australian bushranger historical site and what makes it special? Have you ever heard of one of Ned Kelly's hiding places, said to be a cave near 15 Mile Creek in Victoria? I haven't had the chance to check out many bushranger sites except the ones in Victoria, so obviously Glen Rowan and the Ned Kelly stuff. I do hear you can check out Mad Dog Morgan's hideout, so I'd love to do that one time. Garbutt asks, what book recommendations do you have on Australian colonial history? All right, so if you want to start, I would recommend a book by Don Watson called The Bush. That is a great book because it's written in a very easy way to read. It doesn't read like a history book. It's kind of just really interesting and some good thoughts in there as well. But some great stuff. If you want to get into more detail, though, I've actually, all these books here are Australian history books. And currently, I've been going through this one at night. So Australia by R.M. Younger, and this is The Pioneer Years. And this book is fantastic. So it's got all these old school drawings and stuff like that. Very detailed, though. Some stuff gets a little bit boring, but you find some real gold in there, that's for sure. Carl asks, what is a piece of gear you don't have that you think was indispensable to traditional swaggy bushmen? A gun, yeah. That's on my to-do list. Alexi asks, what piece of gear do you dream of getting your hands on? I'd love to actually get a good canvas swag at the moment, or I'm actually looking at some kind of a canvas tent that can pack down, I can carry with me like a pup tent or something like that, just for those rainy trips. Evans Spitzer says, what's your favorite sweat management strategy? Just dealing with it, wiping my face, having a fresh, clean pair of undies to sleep in at night. So don't really have a sweat management strategy, to be honest. Howling Dingo says, can the outdoor industry transition away from synthetic fabrics like Gore-Tex and adopt fully sustainable alternatives within the next 15 years? Oh, that's a really good question, and it's a really hard question, to be honest. Maybe if the apocalypse comes or economic breakdown, but it's interesting that during COVID, a lot of people got more into the homesteading and also survival stuff. So I think realistically, it would be more that maybe we could get a shift where people would use, a little bit of modern stuff, a little bit of old school stuff, and mix their gear together. I'm actually planning to go on a trip with Lee from Peak Oil Company, and we're planning to have a bit of a chat as well on some of this stuff and go a bit more deeper into it. And Big Snack and Heavy Poida asks, best bit of old school gear I have found in modern times. What are a couple of pieces of traditional gear you would recommend to someone that wants to start dabbling into traditional hiking? I'd say just to start off, wax canvas or oilskin clothing, because when I go up to the snow, I wear all oilskin stuff or wax canvas stuff, and I stay completely dry. Like, it's just as good, in my opinion, in keeping you dry as the new kind of Gore-Texy stuff. I honestly believe that. Maybe slightly heavier, but I mean, when you're wearing it, it doesn't bother me that much. But so I'd recommend something like that. Have a look at Peak Oil Company and some of the wax canvas stuff that he does, because he's got some really good wax canvas stuff. But yeah, otherwise, besides that, if you're on a tight budget, practice some old school methods of fire starting, get a flint and steel. So anyway, those are all the questions, guys. Thanks for sending those in. I appreciate that. So people have been asking some stuff. Horse tracks in the high country. So what I might do, I'll just chat for 5 minutes, and then I will do the giveaway. So I'll wait a little bit. But let me see what some of you have been saying in the chat. What do you think is the best field book for finding bush foods and bush medicines in Victoria? Tim Lowe, Wild Food Plants of Australia. They say this is like the Bible of bush tucker for Australia in whole. I have found that there's been plants that I've come across that I've known and I've looked up in the book, and I haven't been able to find it in the book. So you might be able to find better books that are, a little bit more detailed than that. So, but yeah, this is a really good book. I'd like to get more into the bush tucker stuff. I don't have a huge knowledge of it. There's obviously lots to learn. My knowledge on bush tucker, I'm probably much more confident in coastal Victoria areas. That's where I'm free to pick stuff, and I don't need to look it up because I know what it is. Ian Robinson says, you missed my question about what hiking boots you use and recommend. So I wear I've got everything in my office ready to go. So I wear the Scarpas. I think these are the GTX. I think these are the same ones that Scotty from Scotty's Gone Walkabout wears, but they're really comfy. Otherwise, I'm going to be honest, I wear steel cap work boots quite a bit. So, and they do fine for me out in the bush. So if I'm doing a really big hike where I've got to do a bit of scrambling and stuff like that, I wear my good hiking boots. So anyway, what I might do now, while we're kind of just here, I might do this giveaway and see who wins. So we've got 2 people who can win this giveaway, and basically we've got it here. This is a wax canvas I don't know if you call it a haversack or a backpack, but from Peak Oil Company. Yeah, I haven't used this out bush yet. I did take it with me up to the Mallee and used it as a clothes bag. I really like it, but I'm going to take this out bush one time. Yeah, I like it how you can kind of sling it over your shoulder. And it's just a really nice feeling bag and really well made. So check out Peak Oil as well. Some of his stuff because he does some really good stuff. So what we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to see if I can do this now. Bear with me. All right. Can you guys see that? Is that coming up? Let me know in the chat. Someone says, give it to me. It's the Google gods. Google gods are going to decide who gets this bag. Awesome. Right. So I put the link in here. Start giveaway. Okay, we're going to do 2 winners. All right. Drum roll. Find winners. Here we go. Congratulations to Phoebe Jenkins and Alexi. I can't say that last name. Congratulations to you guys. And sorry to everyone else. I really wish that I could give every single one of you one of these bags, but unfortunately I don't have that money to do that. So congratulations to these two. I will be getting in contact with them. And yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Thank you for everyone for, someone says, do it again, Luke. Sorry, I can't do that. That's why I did this live, so that everyone can see that it's legit. And I don't want to play favorites, hey. Awesome. Yeah, well, that's awesome. So let me stop sharing that. Congratulations to them. Do you know about pipe lighters, the flame corners out the side? No, I don't. Don't know much about pipe lighters. I only use matches, really. So anyway, I just want to say thank you again to everyone for being really supportive of the channel. Yeah, I'll be posting next week a video of my hut camping in the Mallee. And yeah, and then the following week or the week after that, that'll be my big walk that I did, 4-day walk. So yeah, that'll be a really good video. Plan to do a video with Lee from Peak Oil. That'll be a good one as well. So a few survival challenges as well, and see how we go right up to the end of the year. Thank you so much, Kiwi Brew. I really appreciate that. You guys, supporting is what pushes me to continue making videos. And yeah, I'm trying to really go hard this year so that, trying to get at least 3 videos out a month. Yeah, just so I can grow the channel by the end of the year, and we'll see what kind of a position we're at by the end of the year. There we go. Otherwise, what time are we on? 8:06. I'll stick around for a little bit, but then after this, I'm probably going to head off because I've got quite a few videos to catch up on that I want to watch as well. So there's a lot of people who drop videos tonight. Scotty's gone walkabout, Tassie boys prospecting, and I don't know if Matsy has dropped his video or not. Don't know. Has Matsy dropped his video? I'm trying to see on Instagram. If he has, make sure everyone goes there and watch the Silly Swagman's latest video if he's posted it. Someone asked, what's your Instagram? Instagram is just the Bearded Bushranger, same as the channel. So you can go there, and I post a lot of stuff on Instagram. Actually, I pretty much just use Instagram and YouTube. I don't really use much more than that. Aussie Game says, I can't wait till you're at 1 million subs so I can say that I'm an OG of the channel. Yeah, well, not sure if we'll get all the way there, but anyway, we'll see. We'll take it as it comes. When is your next giveaway? Because I just want free stuff. Yeah, sorry, mate. When we reach 100,000 subscribers, I'll do another giveaway then. No, congratulations on the 10K. Respect, Jason Whitehead. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see the channel grow. I'm really passionate about Australian history. Just poring over history books every night, just reading through it, seeing if I can get ideas and be inspired to make videos. And yeah, someone says definitely need some bushranger videos. That'll be a good idea, I reckon. Like find some locations of famous bushrangers and go and stay out there for a few nights. And yeah, that'd be cool. I'll do that. Good work, Luke. Cheers. Thank you very much, guys. Look, thank you, MJ. Congrats on the milestone. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I love that you guys are watching the channel. Well, do you know about the Koorin bushranger in SA used to ride around on an ostrich? No, but now I have to research that. Bushranger riding around on an ostrich sounds legit to me. There are some really good bushranger stories out there, though. Some pretty wacky stuff. So you never know. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it there. We're about 10 minutes off, but that's all right. There's a lot of people watching videos tonight, so I would like to go and join them and watch some of the videos. So thank you so much for joining this live stream. All the best, guys, and yeah, see you on the next video. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, everyone.